Good morning, my dear students, and welcome to Big Data Analytics class. In our previous session, we have discussed about what is big data and its importance. In today's class, we will be learning about these topics, that is hidden treasures, what is Hadoop, problems in traditional approach, evaluation of Hadoop, components of Hadoop, architecture of Google file system, and Hadoop ecosystem too. Let's revise the contents, what we have discussed in our previous class. We have discussed about what is big data, as we have discussed that a big data is nothing but lots of data which is measured in terms of terabytes, petabytes, zettabytes and gigabytes. We have discussed about the characteristics of big data too, where we have discussed as a volume, veracity and velocity. We have seen few examples of big data like Walmart. We have seen the examples of telecommunications, we have seen the examples of banks and retail system, etc. And we have seen the different types of big data analytics like predictive data analytics, diagnostic data analytics, etc. And we have seen the applications of big data too. Let's start our today's session, that is about the hidden treasure. What is a hidden treasure is, as in the previous session, we have seen that from retail part, Sears company is generating large amount of big data. As long as the Sears company was getting structured data, they could able to maintain their data by using the Oracle and SAS. But once they started getting the unstructured data, they couldn't able to manage and maintain data by using Oracle and SAS. So they require a new technology which can handle unstructured in a perfect manner. So they were in a search, and during their search they got a software called as Hadoop. Hadoop is a software, using that we can able to manage the big data or we can manage the unstructured data. You might be worrying about why there is a picture of elephant. The reason behind that is the largest animal in the world as per the size is elephant. And the elephant size and the big data size almost all resembles each other. That is the reason one way it is elephant. Another important reason is the person behind who developed the Hadoop is Duff Cutting, and Duff Cutting has given the software name as Hadoop, that is nothing but his son's toy name, and it is an elephant toy. So in that manner the image of the elephant came for the Hadoop. Yeah, what is Hadoop actually? Hadoop is nothing but, it's an Apache Hadoop and is a framework which allows distributed processing of large data sets. That is very important. Distributed processing of large data sets across cluster of commodity computers. What is the meaning of cluster of commodity computers? Commodity computers are nothing but they are cheap hardwares. Using simple programming model. What is a simple programming model they are going to use? The simple programming model they are going to use is, that is MapReduce. We call as MR in short. MapReduce is a simple programming paradigm. Using the simple programming paradigm that is called as a MapReduce, we are going to do all the kind of analytics, right? I would like to discuss much about cluster of commodity hardware. The Hadoop works based on the master-slave architecture. I repeat it once again. The Hadoop works on the master-slave architecture, that is your cluster of commodity hardwares. You don't require any expensive machines. Whatever the machines you are having, you can make a cluster and you can utilize the power of all the machines at one level. So how the cluster works is, the cluster works like this. This is one node. One machine is one node. This is another machine or another node, and they work in a cluster. They are connected with one another in the network. And the Hadoop works in master-slave architecture. We'll discuss about all these things in our next coming slide. Right. It is an open source data management with scale out storage and distributed processing. So it is a open source data management with scale out storage and distributed processing. That is the working style of the Hadoop. Right. So what is a Hadoop? It is nothing but Apache Hadoop is a framework which allows for distributed processing. That means the job is distributed among different nodes. The job is distributed among n nodes of large data sets. I have got 1 terabyte of data and I have asked to process those 1 terabyte of data. So what I did is, if I keep the data with me to process that, I may take large amount of time. I am considering myself as one node. If that 1 TB of data has been distributed among different nodes in a distributed manner, it becomes simple. So this is the working style of the Hadoop. And in this, there will be a programming model will be running. And that programming model is called as your map and reduce, we call as a. Right. So that is about what is Hadoop. Let us see what are the problems we are facing with the traditional approaches actually. What is making us to go for a new technology? Why we require to establish a clusters? Let us see that. Let us see this. There are 3 major problems are there. What are 3 major problem is? Problem in storing the colossal amount of data. I am having a large amount of data is there. How I am going to store it? That is my major problem. The second problem is I am having a storing of heterogeneous data. That is a major problem. That is the second problem for me. And coming to the third problem, I am having a problem is accessing and processing data. That is another problem. So these are 3 important problems. So what is the solution for that? We have to see, right? So I am showing with the help of the image. If you see here, I am trying to store big data, which is in the form of an elephant, in a small almirah, which is not possible to fit. That's what I am saying. Storing huge and exponentially growing data sets. It's increasing the data, and I am trying to put the data in the small almirah type of thing, right? And I am getting different varieties of data. Previously, I used to get only structured data, but now I am getting structured data, unstructured data, and semi-structured data. So these are all different kinds of data I am getting. Previously, we used to get the structured data only, but now I am getting the structured data, unstructured data, and semi-structured data. So this is my problem. How I am going to handle? If I can't use my traditional database management tools, I can't use my traditional database systems to handle the structured data, to handle the unstructured data and semi-structured data. Similarly, you can see here, bringing huge amount of data to computational unit becomes a bottleneck. Like for example, all these are having a data and I want to move them. So how to move them all? That is a major problem. During the movement of that data, I may lose the data also. If you lose few data also, there is a large, that means the results we are going to get is improper results we are going to get. That is why whenever you perform the calculation on the Hadoop software, for example, I am giving the 1 TB of data as an input. I should get the same output as a 1 TB of data, maybe the failure results or maybe a success result. So in that manner we need to measure. So this is my traditional approach, and we are facing so many problems. See, this is the one problem I am having. Another problem is I am getting different varieties of data, structured data, unstructured data, semi-structured data, and bring the huge amount of data to computational unit becomes a bottleneck. So how all these problems can be solved, that we have to see now. The best solution is Hadoop as a solution. That is the best solution. How it works is, it works like this. Let us see this diagram. Let us see this diagram, the beautiful diagram showing the solution. As I have shown you in the previous slide, this is one problem for us, this is another problem for us, and this is another problem for us. I need a solution for this, I need a solution for this, and I need a solution for this. So how do I do that? I do like this, right? The first solution you can see here, Hadoop as a solution, whatever the data I am having, that data, in order to process it, I am going to make use of cluster of commodity hardwares. This is one node, another node, another node, another node. So I am going to store all my data on these nodes. So in the previous diagram I have shown you that I tried to put my big data as an elephant on one Almora as one node. That means you can see here, this is my big data, I am trying to put on one node. I am considering this as a one node. Now this problem I am solving it as I am making use of different nodes here. So few data I am going to keep here, few data I am going to keep here, few data I am going to keep here. So like this I can able to store large amount of data. The second diagram you can see here, once the data is stored here, so data will be stored in the HDFS. What is HDFS stands for? Hadoop Distributed File System. So what is Hadoop Distributed File System? The files or the data will be stored in a distributed fashion. It is quite simple, my dear students. Please understand that the working style of the Hadoop is just like master-slave architecture. Nothing will be saved on the master. All data will be saved on the slave nodes only. So these are called as nodes. On these nodes only data will be stored. And this data can be a structured data, unstructured data, and semi-structured data. So this HDFS can able to store all three formats of data. Whatever the data, it can able to store it. And once you store them, once you write them, that is called as the storing mechanism. The storing process is called as a writing. Once you store them or write them, you can read them at any number of time by any number of user. He can read as well as he can read, anyone can read it. That is a facility. And in third diagram you can see here is, as the data is stored in different nodes here, you can work with, and this is your master node here, and any number of processing you can do it here. And you can reduce the time of processing. That means in the previous slide here, processing problem we have, that also we have resolved it using this third approach. So ultimately, whatever the traditional problems we have seen, those problems can be solved by these three pictures. So how to do this and how to implement it, we'll see in the session. So before going ahead, it will be good for us to know much about how Hadoop has evaluated actually, how Hadoop came into the market, because whenever we see the picture of elephant, we are in curiosity that why the elephant came into the picture, all those things. Let us see a small history of the Hadoop software. So let us see here, ASF, that is the Apache Software Foundation, formed as a non-profit organization in the year 1999. In 2002, Duff Cutting, in short I have written as a Cutting, Duff Cutting joined Yahoo, takes Nutch with him, that means he continued the Nutch also with him, and in 1999, Apache Software Foundation formed as a non-profit organization. In 2002, Nutch created and by the Duff Cutting and Mike Efrela also. That means Nutch created by Duff Cutting and Mike Efrela. And in 2006, Duff Cutting joined Yahoo search engine, and he worked with the Yahoo search engine. In 2008, Nutch divided and Hadoop is born. That means there is a division has happened between the two companies. And then in 2008, Yahoo released a Hadoop as an open source project to Apache Software Foundation in the year of 2008. Again, in 2008, Hadoop-based startup Cloudera was incorporated. That means Cloudera is a big company now. So at the time it was a startup. Now it is a very big company. And Duff Cutting, who used to work in the Yahoo search engine, now he left the company of the Yahoo and then joined with the Cloudera as a CEO because he was the founder of that company. And Yahoo also started a new product that is called as a Hortonworks to do the analytical works, like how Hadoop is performing the job with the company of Cloudera. Similarly, Yahoo also has its own product that is called as Hortonworks. So we can do our analytics either by using the Hadoop or by using the Hortonworks, whatever we want. But the more popularity for the software is Hadoop compared to the Hortonworks, right? And in our classes also, we will be making use of Hadoop software only, because the Hadoop software we are going to make use of using the Cloudera only. So which is going to be make our work more simpler, and moreover in market also there is a large demand for the Cloudera compared to the Hortonworks. Let us see the characteristics of the Hadoop. What are the important characteristics of the Hadoop is a flexible software and it is a scalable. That means I can extend my nodes at any level whatever I want. For example, I am having only 4 nodes. I am having 4 nodes because I am working with only 1 TB. My company is handling only 1 TB of data daily now. So suddenly my company got progression and I am getting the data size increased. For that purpose, I can't work with the same 4 nodes. I have to increase. Just as it is simple, like for example, if my company is smaller, I will employ only 4 employees, 4 software engineers. If my company is getting more number of projects, I require 50 software engineers. That is called as your nodes. You need to increase your nodes. So once my company started getting more amount of data, I have to increase the nodes. So that is called as scalable here. And moreover, it is economical. Why? Because it is economical, because these nodes are cluster commodity. That means they are cheap computers. That means their hardware is cheap. You don't require any specific configuration to make the Hadoop cluster. Whatever the configuration you have, whatever the lower level machines you are having, you can make use of them and you can put it as a cluster, and whatever the power they are having, we can make use of it for the processing. And it is a reliable software. Why it is a reliable software? We will discuss. For example, for that, in Hadoop, we have a fault tolerance facility. What is the meaning of fault tolerance facility is, for example, in my company, 4 software engineers are working, and while working on the project, among the 4 software engineers, 1 software engineer suddenly left the company. So what happened now? I can't close my project. I can't close my company. What I am going to do at that time? I am going to replace the person who left with the person who are standby, to whom I have not allotted the job. So similarly here also, if this node is not working, or if this node is not working, what I am going to do, immediately the node, whichever the node is free or vacant, what I am going to do, I am going to assign the job. That is called as a fault tolerance. So that means no job will be in the problem if any node is not working. That means immediately the node's job will be continued by the other node, which will be automatically done. How automatically it will be done, that will be seen in the Hadoop cluster, right? So that is where in that manner it is reliable. That means if one node is not working, there is no need to worry about the job whichever the node is doing, how we are going to handle them, because it is having the facility of fault tolerance. And it is having some differentiating factors too. It is simple, robust, and scalable and accessible at anywhere. I have established my cluster at one location, maybe at Pune. I can access by staying at Visakhapatnam or in Andhra Pradesh of any location of my world. That is my accessibility is because I made the cluster in such a fashion.